Welcome to Great Day, Houston. You know, when I turn the corner every morning, I'm not sure what's going to be in the studio audience, but we have a lively group today. So thank you all very much for joining us. If you have that dress, that pair of pants, that shirt that barely fit, but you can make it work, you better wear it right now, as in right now. According to a study at Cornell University, this week is the skinniest you'll be all year. So take as many selfies as you can. In fact, take selfies right now, then post them later in the year. I already took my, I took my Halloween selfie already, okay? I took my Thanksgiving selfie already, okay? And a selfie for my Christmas card, all ready to go. Okay, because you know why? Holiday weight gain can be inevitable. Or is this an exercise in discipline? We're talking about that and more in medical hot topics. On today's panel, please welcome chiropractor Dr. Tony DERAMUS, general surgeon Dr. Rizwan Chaudhry, anti-aging specialist and emergency medicine Dr. Richard LeConey, and we'll explain the dog in a moment, and interventional pain management specialist Dr. Joseph Amos. So good morning and welcome to Great Day, everybody. Okay. So apparently today, this is it right here, probably the least you'll weigh all year. Cornell University did this study, which I could have done this study for them. Sorry, Cornell. But that, you know, we start to gain weight and it peaks in January. I wonder what's happening between now and then that makes us gain weight.
I'll give you three reasons. Number one, sugar. Number two, sugar. And number three, too many calories.
Yeah.
That's what's going to do it.
And starting with trick-or-treating, right? When you get your child's bag, presumably to look for suspicious candy, right? You're like, well, oh, that's open, that's suspicious. Oh, that's from Mr. What's his name down the street. We don't trust him, right? But no. So we start chomping out of our kid's bag, and then really, when it comes to the holidays, how many times do we refer to food, my favorite food, all the holiday parties, and we lose track of calories?
I think the holiday season gives an excuse to party a little bit too much. It gives an excuse to sit on the couch a little bit too much. The author of this study, he made one comment. He said that instead of focusing on our New Year's resolution, let's start focusing on October resolutions, you know, not to gain so much weight during the season, because they pointed out it takes 5 months to get rid of this weight.
What you get, and which is the reason why so many times year after year after year, it's like that weight that's added. So how many of you are guilty of? But you know what to do there. Okay.
I think one of the things you can do to avoid at least the weight gain is be active a little bit. They're saying there's new data showing that sitting longer than 4 hours at a time versus less than 2 hours at a time during the day increases your risk of death, increases diabetes, increases heart disease by 150%. So we are going to be eating a little bit more because people are out. There's holiday parties, but stay active, be on your feet, don't be sitting around all day.
And just to show how much people eat of the wrong things, statistics also show that more people around the holidays end up in the hospital because of heart attacks. You were in ER as an emergency room doctor. You saw that a lot.
It's the season. But a lot of is because if you notice that curve starts to climb upward right as the kids are back in school. So, there's nothing like keeps the weight off you like chasing a bunch of little, young ones all summer long.
Well,
but as soon as they come back in, so you got to find something else to keep you active, And
then stay by the crudité table at all the parties, okay? Stay away from the bar and all that other stuff. Okay, interesting, there's this pill that they say could make you and your dog live longer, which is the reason why we have Lulu here with Dr. LeConey. Okay, rapamycin. It's discovered 50 years ago, but researchers gave the drug to 16 dogs. Their hearts functioned better. One dog that was on his deathbed, literally was going to die, is now, Sherman, is active, runs around the yard, but it can come with potential side effects. You've done a lot of research in anti-aging medicine, so this has been around a while, and you've known about this.
Yeah. Rapamycin is one of about 3 or 4 drugs that are being studied. Resveratrol, metformin. These drugs, almost all of them have as their common denominator that they mimic calorie restriction. In other words, something that we know is associated with longevity. All the animal studies that, when you put mice in a cage and you feed them very little food, they actually live longer. And so it's...
Lulu's like, I want my mommy. Lulu, by the way, is 180 years old, but we've been giving her this pill.
She's our rapamycin dog here. Rapamycin. But rapamycin is just one of those drugs that mimics calorie restriction. So really, it gets back to the whole thing about calories. and how we're trying to, science is trying to figure out a way that we can, you might say, have our cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
And that is not get fat and use drugs that simulate calorie restriction. There's 4 or 5 of them in development. Metformin, however, I want to throw a plug for
People
that
use
one.
that who have diabetes.
Metformin is available now. It's being widely recognized as providing health benefits beyond its diabetes benefits.
Right. And with that said, I think Lulu wants mommy.
I think she's trying to get away.
All right, so we'll come get Lulu.
So that's what I think. I think metformin is one they've been selected for a pioneering anti-aging study for the first time. So this study is pretty much a landmark, and it features metformin, but one of the drugs that they thought about working on was rapamycin.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go back to this, though. It's interesting. For the most part, we know what to do. There are some people who have much tougher time with it, but for the most part, we all know what looks right on our plate, right? We are looking for that magic pill. I think God is saying, I'm not going to give it to you. Right? But because there are things like that, but I've heard people say, yeah, I'm going to get my doctor to give me the metformin or glucophage so I can lose some weight. Now, when we say lose some weight, like me, I want to lose 50 pounds, not 2. Right? So the pills are not miracles.
No, they're not. And interestingly enough, though, you're talking about pills that mimic calorie restriction. They've just had a recent discovery about another substance, a compound, that mimics exercise.
Oh, really? Oh, now I'm interested. Okay.
So now you can take your calorie restriction pill and your exercise mimic pill and
live longer, too.
And the pecan pie.
Yeah, and live longer.
No, I'm not advocating that, but I'm just telling you that's what people are working on right now in science, and it's
They're
kind of
working on
interesting.
it. Okay, you just let me know when they get good with that. Okay, what do you do if exercise triggers your asthma? Oftentimes, as a pain management specialist, there are a lot of people who say they can't exercise because of their pain as well. And I think a lot of that, you look at what do we consider exercise? I think sometimes we'll say, oh, I can't do that because I'm not running a marathon, or I have to join this gym and do all these weights and stuff like that. Exercise is really very minimal if you're doing the right things, right?
Yeah, and it's individualized. So, I mean, everyone's program is going to be different. I think it's important to set target goals for yourself as far as what your activities are and keep pushing those. But going back to the asthma, I think we have very clear indications of what set off asthma and being aware of those. So, it mentions colder air, it mentions allergens. And Houston being the capital of allergy, have the most allergists per capita. You're right in the hotbed, right? So I think it's just preparing, making sure that you understand the risks and being prepared if you do have an asthma attack that you have your medications.
Yeah, and Dr. Chaudhry, as a general surgeon, you understand that how muscles work and how it doesn't take as much as sometimes people think it does to get your muscles engaged.
Right, and it's different for everybody. What I tell people when they're exercising is get your heart rate up, start sweating. When you feel like you're tired, then you feel like you've done something. So everybody's capacity is different. So don't overdo it, and especially with people who are asthmatic, who have triggers, be careful if it's cold, if it's certain types of activity.
Oh, I love people like Jack LaLanne. I mean, you can sit and be fit, right? Like Jack LaLanne proved that. Look at there you go, Jack. There you go, Jack. Yeah. So simple things like that, or you can sit in your chair and just squeeze your muscles. See, everybody has a chair, right? There you go. And Jack lived to be like 150, so obviously he was doing something right there. But sometimes it's just get up and move.
Yeah, I think the new key is moderation rather than extremism is now because extreme sports have been kind of given the limelight for so long that people are realizing that moderate exercise is probably better.
Yeah, and what we found recently, because we always used to recommend 150 minutes of exercise per week in order to be healthy, and everybody, is going to the gym and doing these other things. A few years ago, they found that it's really 150 minutes per week of consistent movement that's important with this, because now as a society, we're just not moving near as much as we used to.
Yeah. Okay, so this is one exercise that my trainer showed me, because I had every excuse. I go, oh, my knee's hurting me today. Oh, this is hurting me. He goes, fine, sit down in the chair. Okay, so everybody just squeeze every muscle in your body, doctors included. Okay, sit here. All right, squeeze everything from your neck to your torso to your arms. I want your thigh. I want your heels to be constricted as well. All right, everybody. Okay, are you doing it, Dr. Chaudhry? You look too calm to be doing it. Okay, just keep doing it right. Okay, are you getting the point now? That's like pretty. I mean, wow, right?
Busting the button on my penis.
Yeah, there you go. You see, so it can be as easy. Y'all can at ease over there. They were like, okay, so something as easy as that can get your heart rate up.
There's one other great point. We've well established this in studies that even a moderate amount of exercise actually generates your own endogenous pain inhibitory mechanism.
That's right.
So you can actually treat your own chronic pain with even a moderate amount of
Yeah,
exercise.
and in your segment, we're going to talk more about how all the different ways to treat pain outside of surgery and medication.
But
Sometimes those are needed, but
be active.
yeah. Yeah.
Be active.
All right, the last one here. I don't know why this is on here. I just think it sounds interesting. I think Ralph was just one of our producers. I think he was a little bored in the office. And he said, a man survives an impalement in his head because a dagger was thrown in his head during a gang fight. Okay, so we see impalements in horror and suspense films, and they always just kind of pull it out and keep on going. I just want to know, especially as an emergency room doctor and all of our doctors, if this should happen to you and there's a dagger in your head, especially around Halloween, do you pull it out or do you get help immediately?
Well, you know, as a chiropractor, we don't deal with impalement that often.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would probably have a tendency to pass out and then try to find help.
Yes. Okay. Have you ever seen a dagger?
Actually, I've seen a couple of similar ones like that. But one of the best was the guy with the nail gun, who shot himself in the chest 3 times with a nail gun, and he had 3 framing nails in his chest. I would not advise you remove those nails with your claw hammer.
Yeah. I bet you could write a book on the ER. All right.
You could do more damage pulling the object out because it could be tamponading or blocking a blood vessel, so you might run into bleeding issues. So definitely go to the ER, call 911, get
good reason to
help.
avoid gang fights, I think. Okay.